Hey champions, it is Tuesday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. This is essentially the beginning of my work week because Monday was a holiday. I took that day off. And yeah, now I'm just getting back at it. So a bunch of things have happened over the weekend. A lot of cool announcements, but some things are still private, so we haven't made them public yet, but we're still working on it. One of the things is um, and one of the things I want to mention actually is that Legend Story Studios, the creators of Flesh and Blood, just celebrated their 2 year anniversary, or Flesh and Blood Turn 2, however you want to look at it. But that's really awesome. October 10th is when the game launched. And yeah, congratulations to them. And I know that a lot of people will say in business you shouldn't be hyping up your competitors or you shouldn't be talking about them on such a regular platform. But if they see this, I hope that they're not offended. I mean, the odds of them seeing it are so small. But I just want to say it's really cool that to see other card games hit the market. It's really impressive what they did. They're an inspiration to me of things that we could be doing to break through the market and change the status quo of things. So, congratulations to them. I hope that they have a lot of success in the upcoming years. And even though we're a little bit older, they were able to spread out and get a much stronger foothold, which is amazing. But know that we're on your tail and we'll be getting there soon. So, again, congratulations to them, and I hope that they have a wonderful next year ahead of them. The other thing I want to talk about is tonight is Exploring the Libraries. I know last week we canceled it. Just due to unforeseen reasons. It was very unfortunate. It's getting that time of the year where people are just getting sick and things aren't working out. So tonight, hopefully we will go forward with it. If you have questions or topics or things you want us to explore in Exploring the Library, let us know. But I think we'll have some really cool announcements to make tonight. So make sure you tune in. It is episode 45. It's going to be happening at 7 p.m. I don't have, like I said, I don't know exactly what we've been talking about, but I have a bunch of questions that I'm going to throw on Alex's plate. I want to talk about how the game has shifted, what are some of the metas, what are some of the concerns. There are a bunch of things that are on my mind. So I'd like to see his thoughts and his opinions behind that and get a little bit more of that information out there to you. So I think that's all I have to talk about today. Let's jump into our spotlight. So spotlight card for the day is Goliath Sphinx Eater. I often go on record saying how this is my favorite 4-chi summon. This is one of my favorite commons, uncommons. It's just such a great card. So I want to dig into why. So let's talk about this card and dig into the value of it. I know Bellum itself doesn't get a lot of attention on it, especially. Like, there are a few cards in every affiliation that just rock the game. Bellum has Bolt Shot, which is great. But Glass Phoenix Eater, I think, gets set aside a lot of the times, and it's very unfortunate. So this is a 4-chi summon, 2 health, forward awareness, Bellum. It beckons for 10 aura, it has range, air attack 2, and earth resistance. Artwork done by Philip. I created the card. Let's look at that artwork that Philip did. So one of the things that the artists often are challenged with is the fact that we want the artwork to fit a color palette so that when you look at the card, even not looking at the affiliation bar, you can often figure out which affiliation the card's for. And then the second is the arena. So these are two things that lock the card in and make it quite difficult. I think Philip did a good job here. We could have pushed the yellow a little bit more, but it was good. It was definitely a solid piece. It was definitely very scary. The original artwork that he had, it was actually Malik who was holding that torch, but the emphasis of the artwork kept on bringing the player's attention to Malik, and we didn't want that to happen. We wanted them to focus on the spider itself. So with that in mind, we ended up taking Malik out of the artwork, putting the torch on the ground, shifting the light a little bit, and you get this piece ahead of you. All in all, I think Philip does an amazing job with a lot of his artwork, and this is no exception. I love this piece. I love this card. There are a lot of spiders in Genesis. People have asked me why. It's because spiders are actually, they inhabit almost every part of the world. There are types of spiders that can deal with almost every climate condition, any social economical condition. So it doesn't matter if you're urban, or rural. It doesn't matter if it's hot, dry, or cold, wet weather. It just doesn't matter. You'll find spiders in those conditions. So that's why spiders are really cool to put into the game, because they just can exist in every city. And then again, going back to its name, Goliath Sphinx Eater. This is actually named after a type of spider called the Goliath Bird Eater. So we just made that small little twist. The Goliath Bird Eater was one of the first spiders I saw that I was like, wow. Just wow. They are an amazing breed of creature. And if you ever get an opportunity to see one, assuming you don't have arachnophobia, go check it out. They're really, really cool. But they're massive. They are, I don't know, like the size of a cantaloupe almost. They are big, big spiders. One of the biggest out there. So I got to see one at the Smithsonian Museum, I think, in Washington, D.C. I was there visiting a friend, and I got to see it and just fell in love with that creature. So that's where this card comes from. Now let's talk about the value add. So there's two cards that are actually very similar, Goliath Sphinx Eater and the Martial Sentry. Martial Sentry does electric damage, I believe, and then has dark resistance. The reason why that one isn't as valuable as this is that there are cards in the game that actually do 2 earth damage that are played in semi-meta or meta-relevant situations. One of them being Baihu. Goliath Sphinx Eater actually becomes a really good sniper to knock out Baihu. So if you're fighting against Erica, it actually has value add, where the Martial Sentry, most of the time when you're getting hit for dark damage, you're actually getting hit for 3. The 2 most played dark damage related things are Shadowclaw and Rain herself. Rain does 3 damage, Shadowclaw does 3 damage. Both of them, if you were to get the dark resistance, still hit for 2, so the Martial Sentry is still dying. Where Goliath Sphinx Eater, when hit by a Baihu, only takes 1 damage and will survive. So that's one of the reasons why I like Goliath Sphinx Eater. The awareness on it, it's really solid. Having these 4 chi summons that have the forward 2 damage, there are 3 of them in circulation: Martial Sentry, Androthera, and Goliath Sphinx Eater. All of them have really strong value add. Martial Sentry again gets replaced by Androthera in a lot of situations because you rather just save the 3 aura and drop the Androthera. So Goliath Sphinx Eater for Bellum, really solid choice. Love running this in my Ajna decks or Vadhis decks. Vadhis decks, very often I'd run the Androthera, but in a Ajna deck, Goliath Sphinx Eater is a really, really solid option. But as the card pool grows and as the game grows, this may show up in other decks, especially once we start exploring Bellum Phage or Bellum Chaos. You might see value add into putting this into those other timelines. Again, also the 10 aura makes it a very reasonable choice. You're not going to be spamming this in champions with less than 100 auras, so it won't go into a Fong deck per se. But I could see this very reasonable in a long deck. I could see this very reasonably into a Erica deck. It just comes down to your playstyle and what you're comfortable with. So that's my take on Goliath Sphinx Eater. Will it see meta play? Probably not. A lot of people who play meta are looking for more efficient 4-chis. I love playing it. It shows up in a lot of my meta decks. But it's a card I prefer. It's a niche card, I think, for the right players. If you start playing with it and you're comfortable with it, I think you get a lot of value add. But it's not a card that's just intuitive. Everyone's not going to be successful with this card. And 10 aura is a lot to ask in that regards. So if you try it, you don't like it in the casual format, don't run it in your competitive. But if you see that you get a lot out of it when you're playing casually, then go for it. I think it can give you a lot of great pieces there. And then last thoughts. Yeah. All in all, I really like these 4-chi summons that do the range damage. I think they're going to be very useful, especially as as we see Angel very competitive and we see Death's Companion very competitive. It's good to have a 4-chi card that can help you deal deal damage to those aerial summons. Alright, that's everything I got to say about this card. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you join us for 7 p.m. tonight for exploring the library. Till then, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, I just want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to all our Patreon supporters. You help us so much when it comes to doing these videos, keeping the lights on here at Haunted Castle Gaming. but also just in general, a reminder every single day that we are doing this project for you, the Patreon members, for the players, for the community, and it's just a regular reminder that there are people out there that support this game. So thank you so much for all your support. I really, really appreciate it. Bye.